If Imam Ali, peace be upon him, had not remained silent for 25 years, what would have remained of Islam? Why couldn't the caliphs make decisions without consulting Imam Ali, peace be upon him? In early Islam, the contention revolved around whether Imam Ali, peace be upon him, should be the ruler. No one, however, had the slightest doubt about his being the most knowledgeable person after the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Sunni books narrate in 50 to 70 cases that the second caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab, said, "Without Ali, we would have been doomed, unable to reach correct conclusions, because they lacked bureaucratic experience. They had not performed administrative duties, they had not governed, they weren't skilled, they didn't have the expertise. The Mongols conquered from China to Baghdad, but their empire quickly dissolved. All their ministers were Iranian. Why? Because the Mongols lacked administrative expertise, so how were they to govern? They were clueless. Why did Iranians like Khaja Nizam al-Mulk Tusi and Khaja Nasir-ad-Din Tusi become advisors and ministers? Because the Mongols were inexperienced in governance, plus they all converted to Islam. Because if you lack substance, if you have no plan for governance, you might topple a regime. But what then? Nothing. You can't accomplish anything. The Arabs lived during the Jahiliyyah and experienced the early stages of the Prophet's rule. At this point, serious tensions against his government had not yet manifested. With the Prophet's martyrdom and his teachings on governance incomplete, people facing difficulties had no choice but to seek Imam Ali's counsel. You should know that without Imam Ali, peace be upon him, the Islamic community almost certainly would have been destroyed by wars within the first 2 or 3 years after the Prophet's martyrdom. The Arabs lacked strategic sophistication. For instance, in a battle, they would insist on sending the commander to the front lines, driven by a notion of Arab valor. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, intervened and advised against this course of action. He addressed this to the second caliph. This incident highlights a crucial lesson. One should learn from Imam Ali, peace be upon him, to offer counsel for the benefit of the people, regardless of who is in power. Note this, regardless of who was in power, even someone who had usurped Imam Ali's rightful position and orchestrated those events to become caliph. In a sermon recorded in Nahj al-Balagha, Imam Ali, peace be upon him, advised Umar ibn al-Khattab, "As the ruler, you are now like the pivot of a millstone. You cannot afford to break. You must remain here while your armies proceed to the frontier. If you go there and are killed, they will conquer all the way to the Kaaba. But if the army is defeated, the enemy will know their leader still lives." Talha advised him to go to the front. Osman did this too. All the prominent figures urged the caliph to go to the front, but Imam Ali, peace be upon him, advised against it. His was the only dissenting opinion, and as it turned out, it was the correct one, contributing to the Muslim army's victory. This narrative concerns the trajectory of governance. For a quarter of a century, the potential for Imam Ali, peace be upon him, to establish a reign of complete justice was forfeited, and the polity was consigned to a state of regression.